Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our webinar on Expand Your Commercial Business with CID Insurance Services. My name is Zane Agostini. I'm CEO of CID Insurance Programs, and I'm going to be your guide to find out a little bit more about who we are and how we can help you build your commercial book. So let's get started. By the way, this will be about 30 minutes, and I welcome as many questions as we go along that you'd like. However, I will be the only one speaking, and as much as I would love to hear from all of you, it's just not feasible in a webinar. So I encourage you to chat any questions that you have into the chat room, and then my team will make sure that those questions get to me, and I'll answer them as we go along. So feel free to chat while while I'm talking, and I'll take a moment to answer the questions as they come in. So who are we? CID Insurance Programs. We're a small wholesaler based out of San Diego, California. We write business in 14 states, which I'll show you those states in just a minute. But we've been doing this a long time. My background is in retail for many years ago, so when I went wholesale, I really understood what I wanted to deliver, what I wasn't getting from the big house wholesalers that are out there, and so that's what we became a wholesaler in order to provide better services for retailers like yourself. We're going to talk a little bit about the product appetite, and then we want to talk about why you shouldn't focus on new business growth, like why you shouldn't focus only on new business growth, because your renewals become a really important part of the equation as well. And then we're going to talk about useful tools on our website. I'm going to actually take you to our website. Okay, so I was mentioning a little bit about what we do, and we are a wholesaler that sort of has carefully selected our carriers to fit the needs of the retail independent, and we do a lot of business with farmers agents as well. So independent brokers and farmers agents, and what falls right outside of your preferred markets. And for many, there are those of you out there that are sort of on your own and don't have appointments with carriers, and so we can offer those preferred carriers all the way up to the manageable hard to place. You see the visual of the states that we do write in. So many of you write in multiple states, so we should be able to accommodate you in the majority of those states. Majority of our states we're licensed in is on the West Coast, but we do have a few oddities on the Midwest and East Coast as well. So again, let me know if you have questions as we go along. So why would you want to do business with us? So one of the things that I was in need of when I went wholesale was that we wanted to provide faster and easier quote options, and then in combination of that, provide competitive premiums. So our underwriters are very knowledgeable. That we assign them specific either coverages or classes of business, and so they've become experts at really at what they do. And so their placement is very articulate in that from that perspective, because proper placement can actually get the quotes faster and easier at the competitive premium you need. So that rather than sending out to 13 carriers and just sending you whatever comes in first, you never know what you're going to be getting, and a lot of times you don't even know whether what you've got when the quote is sent to you. So that's one thing. Our underwriters are very responsive. They answer their phone. They respond back and via email, and so they're always there to assist you. I get rave reviews on our underwriters all the time. So let's also talk about we've got customizable marketing material. I'm going to show you that on the website. We've got a lucrative commission structure. It's anywhere from 10 to 15%, depending on the product. And the other thing is you're watching a webinar right now. I'm going to show you on our website where we've got lots of recorded webinars, very specific to coverage or classes of business, and or by product, and then we can do office trainings as well. But you can send your employees to our website to watch the webinars over and over again. So those are the live recorded ones, and it's as if you're there when you're watching it. The other thing is we're going to talk a little bit about focusing on renewal retention and new business production, and PIF growth, which is policy in force growth. So that is another thing that we do focus on. So we are going to support you in doing good business, which is to work your renewals and your new business at the same time. Okay. So we're going to start by going over. You're going to see 4 underwriters. You're going to see Dan Mulligan, who handles our professional liability. He's been with us, I think 15 years. So he has, and he's handled our professional liability department for quite some time. So you're dealing with an expert here. He's very fast and efficient. He loves, and many of these classes of business he can actually quote over the phone with you, which is really phenomenal for professional liability, because you're usually dealing with a 3 to 5 page application, which is a pain to try and get your potential client to fill out. And so he can, on many classes of business, he can get you a phone quote and actually send a solid written quote to you, email quote to you, with that as bindable. Once you just have to do the application at that time. So there will be others that require a full app, and Dan's really, I'll show you those on the website, and Dan's very fast and efficient in letting you know whether you can write a risk or not. So you can see there's a wide variety of products on here. Some of his areas of specialty, he does a lot of miscellaneous E&O, so any kind of consultant or professional is going to fall into that category. He specializes in all types of real estate services, from property management to escrow to mortgage, title agents, etc. So that's an area of expertise that Dan has. He also we do architects and engineers, and then we're definitely in the medical and social services industry, because there's a lot of us. I fall into the category of the baby boomers, unfortunately, but there's a lot of assisted living facilities, residential elder care, hospice that's going on, home health care, etc. So you'll find that Dan's very good. There's a professional and general liability element to those, and Dan has the markets to assist you with that. Then you're looking at some coverages. So most of what I've been talking about is E&O, your errors and omissions, right? But there's 3 coverages: employment practices liability, your EPL, cyber liability, and then your corporate directors and officers. So there's when you're getting into specific coverage. And Dan's very, very efficient with the EPL. He's got competitive premiums on that, and a lot of that he can do phone quotes on. Cyber liability has lots of good markets, and he's very knowledgeable on this subject. So if you need some assistance on how to sell this to the client, he can do a great job for you. And then again, it's always important to remember the corporate directors and officers. That's for-profit companies, and he can handle a wide range of companies. It's just probably not going to be for your smaller companies unless there's a specific dynamic to the board of directors that would warrant a policy to be in place. But generally, the bigger the company, the more you're going to need to make sure that you offer the directors and officers. Okay, so let's move on to Teresa. Teresa's been with us probably at least 10 years, and she does an excellent job for us, very efficient on helping you make sure that you get everything done in order to get your business quoted and bound with us. So she's great at that. An area of expertise for her is the garage products. A wide variety of garage products. We can go anywhere from preferred or anything that falls outside your standard markets that you're appointed with. So mobile repair is one of those. Some types of auto repair, certainly used car dealers definitely falls outside. Heavy truck repair, and she's got multiple markets for this, so she's really got your back. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is that new ventures on any of our products are 100% acceptable and are, generally speaking, not debited or penalized for being new in business. So you may not get all the credits applied, but they're not going to debit in order to. So all of the products I'm going to be talking about, you can think of new ventures as being just fine as an acceptable risk for us to quote for you. She also does a lot with contractors, so a wide variety of artisans, as I would call them, a C license where they're specializing in one, like an electrician or a plumber or a landscaper, etc., painter, HVAC, etc. She also does your GCs, your B licenses, where they are, whether they're 100% paper contractor or whether they've got their own employees working for the company. So she can do a great job in that area. And again, new ventures are fine there as well. So she can do. We do a lot of builder's risk, vacant buildings, vacant land. You can see there's a wide variety. She's very knowledgeable on this subject. I know sometimes because as brokers, you don't write these all the time. So sometimes you need a little hand holding on this. I remember I did. And so she's very good at deciphering what you've got and how to help you get a quote for it. Distributors and wholesalers is another. Manufacturers, I sort of lump all those guys into the same bucket, but we can do a wide variety with competitive premiums on that. Restaurants as well, to include liquor. Hookah lounges is one that I find that a lot of people are looking for a market for, so that's, again, a good one. And then retail merchants. So a couple on this one, because your standard markets don't necessarily like liquor stores. They don't like the convenience stores, and some of them don't like the supermarkets. So we've got really competitive premiums on this, and Teresa writes a lot of it. So if you're looking to place those, please send those over to Teresa. Okay, let's move on. So now we have Michelle. Michelle's been with us for 5 years. She's been in her position a couple of years now as a full-fledged underwriter, and she's doing a phenomenal job, and she really knows. So she's heavy, what I would call habitational and commercial building. So that's where her specialty, and she does a great job in this area. So we like the older buildings, the newly purchased, and mixed use. So we're not afraid of those. Really, the only thing that when it comes to commercial buildings and apartments and condominium associations, community associations, is, especially with apartments, you really need it to be in just decent condition. And I hate to use this term, but really it is the slumlord. Is not what we're looking. No one is looking to insure that. So those are the harder ones to place. I have a question. So let me just grab that question. Do you do anything with commercial auto? We have some markets for commercial auto. Frankly, we're not in the transportation business, so let's get that out of the way. We're not writing truckers. We do have a trucker's liability, and I think we can do truckers cargo, but we're not doing the rolling vehicles. We're not insuring the vehicles. We have some accommodation if we wrote a whole package for you that we might be able to do. Sometimes we'll do commercial auto only with supporting business that we're already writing for you. So I hope that answers your question. I'm sorry, it's probably not the answer you want, but that's sort of a dicey coverage these days. Let's keep moving. So commercial buildings is your lesser's risk. Your landlords that own the building and then are leasing it out to tenants. We can do a wide variety of tenant occupancies. So that's sometimes where you get strung up with your standard markets where you're not able to write it. So you always look to us for some of the oddball tenants that fall outside your standard markets. Also, again, the older buildings are fine, and partially vacant buildings we can do as well. We are a source and know well the community association industry. So we can do condos, we can do what they call the PUDs, single-family home complexes, mobile home parks, and we can do the commercial complexes as well, so residential and commercial. So that area, and we can write all of the coverages that you need for them. You come one place to get it all. Everything from the package to the fidelity to the DNO, the no payroll work comp, etc. So she also has great markets for concessionaires and vendors. We have a really easy phone quote system that you can quote these. These are it's designed, and I'm going to show you that shortly as well. This is where you can actually go get a quick quote for those small premium type items, and this definitely falls in that category. A nonprofit is another area that Michelle specializes in, and you can see that there's a wide variety: house of worships, chamber of commerce, charitable foundations, trade associations, and they also have sports for kids and adults. Sports associations as well, where sporting leagues, that kind of thing. So consider us for that. Again, new ventures are fine, and we can write all of the coverages that you need for this as well. Everything from the special events to the if they have an office to get their package, their property and general liability, to the DNO for the board of directors. Special events is a no-brainer. That's another one I would suggest the phone quoting for. So, but we can do we have a wide variety of appetite there. Michelle also specializes in some surety and fidelity. So that's an area that you could reach out to her if you found that you needed a comprehensive fidelity policy or a surety bond for one of your clients. You can see tattoo and piercing, and then training schools. Let's keep going. Oh, I have another question. So let's see if we can, let me see, go here. All right, I don't want to, okay. Second question, do you do earthquake coverage for small residential buildings? Yes, we have some markets for earthquake. That would be Michelle. So you could contact Michelle for a quote on a small residential building. Absolutely. Obviously, earthquake is a dicey coverage because it's written on the DIC policy form, difference in conditions, and they write hurricanes and tornadoes and all of that on those forms. So anytime we're having catastrophic losses, it affects premiums on earthquake here in California. Um, I have not looked lately to see, but we know that the LA area for sure is a very, very high premium area for any type of earthquake coverage for commercial. Okay, next, third question. Who are the carriers you use for commercial buildings? Are they admitted or surplus? Um, most of our carriers are admitted. We do have some that are surplus, but the majority of what we're quoting is admitted. So, and frankly, I would want you could contact Michelle directly to have her answer what those who those carriers are, because she's got a lot of them, and she knows better than I know which of those carriers she would be. Again, we do careful placement to maximize our ability to quote efficiently and get competitive premiums for you. So that's where you're going to see her excelling, and she'll know best. Also, what else do we have here? Tattoo and training school. Okay. My arrows are working. Here we go. All right. Last but not least, we have Caesar. So, and I don't know what state you all are from. So, that's where we all know that workers' comp is varies by state. So, but we write in multiple states. Obviously, if you're monopolistic, we're not going to even be talking work comp. So you can take a little brain break, because there's more for me to show you. But anything that we write, all of our other products, for the most part, Caesar can actually quote the work comp, and that's an important aspect. So he has a wide variety. Caesar's been with us a long time, so he can really hold your hand on understanding your classification codes, whether something is actually classified properly, which sometimes, can be costing your client more money than it should, how to understand the modification, the mod factors on your larger businesses that have been assigned a mod. And in fact, you can go to our website and watch our work comp webinar, which will give you a lot of information on understanding work comp and all the different things you need to know. So again, you've got a wide variety of classes of business here that he can write for work comp. And again, new ventures are fine here. Even believe it or not, lots of coverage we have markets that will do lots of coverage. So that seems to be pretty helpful in some situations when you're not aware that there's been a lapse of coverage. Trust me, I've been there. Okay, so know what coverage your commercial clients need. So this is an interesting thing. As retail brokers, this is where you can get caught the easiest with a E&O claim for your agency. It's not offering all of the coverage that they need. And there's a lot of different ways you can do that with to satisfy that requirement, because a lot of times that they're not going to buy it, but you have a duty to offer the coverage. So don't forget to consider all of these coverages that I'm showing you here relative to what needs to be proposed. If you don't propose these, so what are some of the ways you can do this? You can do this by putting it on a proposal and just saying, we recommend that you consider directors and officers liability. Please contact us if you would like a quote. You can do that for employment practices. You can do that with cyber liability. Or you can easily come to us and with a small amount of information get a quote that you can just put out there along with whatever other coverage that you're proposing. So that you're always taking a look at what you need. If they've got a financial exposure, you want to make sure that you're offering the fidelity, and especially if they're handling other clients' funds. So this is an important area that will protect you as an agency, and it will also, it's always better to grow your book with the same client. Okay, so let's talk about managing your renewal process. You want to track your renewals by expiration report, so confirming each policy is issued and the commission is paid. So what do I mean by that? Well, many of you are independent, so you're going to have an agency management system that already does this for you, and many of you probably print that expiration report. You know, you may run it by week. We run the same process in our office because renewals are important to us as well. So we do a monthly. So our underwriters, we have renewal underwriters that actually work from a monthly, and then we try and work 60 to 90 days out. So you can count on hearing from us early because that's the key to get in and make sure that we're quoting all the markets that they're not going to be blocked by the time we get in there. Treat every renewal like new business. Send a written proposal with and be consistent with the renewal bind order. So here's what I mean by that. It's so important. Commercial is unlike personal lines. Personal lines is really service intensive, so you will definitely not have the same kind of service demands of a commercial client. But it's super important that you at least touch them once a year at that renewal time and do a good job when you do it. So that is important to be able to give them a formal proposal that just like if you were writing new business, that if you were going new to them. So you do that once a year, and then just make sure that you give them the attention that they need, and you secure that renewal bind order. You want to monitor your renewal retention and lapse ratios. So retention is, so did I retain the business the first 12 months? That retention, you want to be taking a look. Am I losing it in the first year? I didn't make it to the 13th month, which means it would have renewed and got into the second policy period. And technically would now be a renewal. That you do want to monitor your new business and to make sure, because that's the worst. That would be the worst condition you would be in if your renewals, your first year policies were dropping off, either canceling or did not renew after the first year. Lapse ratio would be looking at making sure at 13th month and thereafter that you're actually how much are you retaining, how much are you losing, what's your lapse ratio. So you really want that to be like 10 to 15%, or less, right? You want to be you want very few to lapse after that 13th month, and especially you want to retain as much as you can. So that first 12 months. So track it, check your numbers, see what's happening, because if you're writing new business, you don't want it all going out the back door. Cross-sell other insurance coverage at renewal. That's super important as well. So that's key. Just was talking about that. Each renewal, you can offer a new coverage. And then ask for referrals while you're working the renewal. There's no better way. That's the best time. If you're taking good care of them, then ask if they've got any other business that they could bring to you, or whether they have, a referral to someone else who would be interested in needing commercial insurance. Also, as I mentioned, renewal, retention, and new business production are equally important. So focus on it 50-50. Don't give one more emphasis than the other. They're both equally important. Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about retaining your commercial renewals. So the retention of commercial clients depends on the PIF. So that's policy in force count. So what do I mean by that? So as I was talking about, you're writing new business, but you might be losing it out the back end on the renewals. Your PIF count should be growing, meaning that your total book of business, your total number of policies in force, right, would be growing, meaning that you're losing less out the back door and you're gaining more than you're losing. And so your PIF would be growing. That's super important to pay attention to. So the average number, you really do want to have multiple policies for one insured. You do want 2 or more, because that ups your ability to retain your renewals a lot more. You'll keep them longer the more policies you have with one insured. So, and then the more PIF per insured, the easier it is to retain the business. Know what coverages your clients need. That's where our underwriters can help you. So if you're going in and you come across a garage and maybe you haven't done a garage before, well, you may be looking for other things that you want to, you may need to get some assistance from our underwriters in order to know what coverage you need to offer that client. Know who controls the other insurance. That is a biggie, because I find that always the work comp is with someone else, and sometimes it's it might be it could be the health insurance broker, right? The healthcare insurance broker, or it just happens to be with someone else who's controlling the work comp. So you always want to be going after making sure that you're going after all the business that client has, because then otherwise you're at risk to losing it to that other broker. Again, cross-sell other insurance at the time of the renewal. And then we talked about 60 to 90 days you want to be working your renewals, and then provide formal insurance proposals, which I'm going to show you a couple examples. So here we go. Here's a sample of, here's a workers' comp proposal. We have these templates on our website, and I'm going to take you to the website. I won't take you into these, but you can see here that these are Word documents. You can take them and make them your own and put your logo, company information. I recommend that you actually use these proposals and not what we send you, because it's so unprofessional. It's really important to show yourself as a professional. And remember, it's just once a year at that renewal, but you really want to be taking good care of them. And these are Word documents, so you can take these and but we've created the red area where you get to fill in. It's like a template, and you save the template, leave the template alone, and then you save for each insured their actual proposal once you've created it. So you're only filling in the red areas because that's for the most part all you need to fill in. And let me know if you have any questions on that. But this is a great tool, because the hardest thing for me back when was, creating a proposal for every type of business that you're dealing with. So I'm going to click into our website right now, and I'm going to show you a little bit about. So here's a little bit more about us if you want to read about us. Here's a product section, and you can go into each section, and you'll get to see a little bit about who your underwriter is. You can get your applications there, but I'm going to show you a really fast place to go get applications. And I just need to arrow down here. Here we go. And you'll see here that you've got full applications. I'm going to open one just for the fun of it to let you see what it looks like. They're all fillable, and they're stacked, so you'll see everything that you need. Now this is an apartment, which is a little more complicated, but you'll see that we're giving you everything that you need to complete in order to submit for an apartment quotation. So it's all right here. So I just need to move. Here we go. Click out of that. All right, I got lucky. I came back. And so this is, so you'll see them for all of our different products, cost of business, coverages. And then my next favorite place is, oops, sorry, resources. And here's where the webinars. So I'm going to pull that down so you can see. Oops, sorry, it's me, operator error. So here are 3 upcoming webinars that are going to be happening, and you can register for those. And then we have all of these recorded webinars. So this is what I was talking about earlier. So these are really great. It's as if you're there, and you can go in and watch them over and over again. So you can see that there's coverage. There's some different products for there's workers' comp. There's advanced D&O webinar. There's a lesser's risk. So this is a great one to be considering. Okay. Here's templates. This is one of my favorite places. I'm still working on building this out. So anything that you need now, send me an email and let me know. So see these proposals. This is what we have right now in our inventory of templates, a template proposal. So we also have templates for like a no loss statement, a cancellation policy release, a broker of record template, broker and fee agreement, a sample invoice. By the way, all of our proposals have an invoice, or it's going to give clear direction whether it's direct bill and it's being billed directly from the company, or whether it's agency bill, and then there would be an invoice provided for you to. You would want to include the invoice because you're actually billing the insured yourself. You'll see that we've got some risk profiles, which are actually these are tools for you. And I'll go to the apartment building one and show you. Hopefully I've got the right one. It's a blank page. Okay. I'm going to click out of there. Let's try another one. That one didn't work. Here we go. All right. So here's a lesser's risk. So, and it's fillable. This is designed for you to gather information from your insured. Makes it easier. I used these profiles for years when I did commercial retail, and it was super helpful because you get someone on the phone and you're trying to gather information, and you just pull one of these out and you just go through it. Sometimes, or you can email it over to them and let them complete it. And you could help them over the phone with it. So whatever works for you, but this is a really cool tool for you to use as well. Okay. In addition, let me go back up. Marketing tools. Again, this is my last thing for you today. Well, not quite, but here are marketing pieces. So let's just try one. This is a great one. So if let's open this one up. This is an EPL I1, and basically what you have here is something that it's a cheat sheet. You could use it along with a proposal, presentation you want to make. You could send it out with your renewals as one of those things that I said that you're encouraging them to consider the coverage, right? Any way you can do it, you just want to be able to tell them that you think that they should purchase this coverage. And then at the bottom, you can put your information on this. This is designed for you to use with your insured. So if you don't see what you need, please feel free to contact me, and we'll build one for you. Okay? And then back up to the top. One last thing I'm going to go. Oops. Excuse me. Home page. So down here, I'm just going to show you really quickly. Here's our phone quote is a great tool. We partner with USLI, and it's all for those small premium policies that it's so hard to get an application completed in order to get a really low premium quote. So that's what this is designed for. We pay higher commissions, direct bill is available, and we do a flat broker fee of $50, wholesale broker fee of $50 on this. So we keep it down low. You call, it takes 5 minutes, and you'll speak directly to an underwriter. And then we've got down here you'll see a wide. This is what products are available, and there's a minimal. You don't need an application, and you just need to know a few pieces of information which are in the bulleted area here. So you can see that it could be super easy in order to get a quote fast on a lot of these products. And as I said before, let me just go back here, close that up. There's professional available, there's nonprofit, the EPL is available, the cyber is available, nonprofit, hospitality and liquor. So you can see that it's this is a super way to handle the small little ones. And you're talking directly to the underwriter. You get an email quote right after you hang up, and we get that as well. And if we want to go out and market it as well, we are able to do that because we have a copy of the quote that came in. So we will follow up with you on those quotes and help assist you in whatever way you need. So so that's the website. And I'm hoping that I think that shows you enough about the website. And let me see. I'm gonna close out of this and hope. Oops. Oh darn it! I might have gone too far here. Let me see if I can go back to my website. Did. So let's keep going. And so here's the website address. And I really appreciate you joining us. Does anybody have any questions? I haven't seen anything come in for a while. But if you have any questions, please contact me or type them in now. Please contact our underwriters specifically as to what coverages. On the website under products, you'll see, by product who your underwriter is. So that's a fast way to find out. But any of us will point you in the right direction. So even if you email me, I won't, by product, I won't be the most knowledgeable, but I'll get you to the right person. All right. Well, then, thank you so much for joining us, joining me today and my team at background. Yes?
There's a couple questions that haven't been answered. Did you see them in the chat?
Okay, sorry. I've done.
No worries.
Are they way up there?
Question number 4. I can read it off for you. Someone asked, do we offer...
Oh, got it. I didn't see those. Thank you. Thank you, Jacob.
No problem.
All right, I'm still on. So we have a question. Do you offer property liability and workers' comp for convenience stores open 24 hours? Yes, we do. So that is one of the great things about we've got a carrier that has very competitive premiums on this. So you would want to communicate with Teresa on that. And you can find, we have a convenience store app right on the website. And then number 5, what software do you suggest to keep track of renewals? Well, if you're a farmer's agent, and obviously farmers actually controls everything, on their website, right? So I would actually use an Excel spreadsheet. I mean, I just go back to, the simple is better. And then you can build that out to have as much information on it as you want, and then run it by expiration date, and that will give you your and by month. And I mean, that's how I would look at it. I would section it off by month so that you could manage it more easily. So hopefully that answers your question. But that is definitely, I just do use Excel for that. All right. Any other questions? I'm going to keep going down here in case we typed in another one. I have nothing. Okay, thank you. All right. That is it. Thank you all again for joining me today, and we look forward to doing more business with you if we already do business with you. And for those of you who haven't tried us, you should, because we will take good care of you. All right. Take care. Have a good day.